Hello guys, today I will be showing you how to do a map in UE5, and this is just going to be a simple map. It's just going to overlay the character's location and position and display it over a map that you draw yourself. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So I'm here in one of my projects that I've been working on, and as you can see, if I click M, there's a little red dot displaying where the character is. And as he runs around, it changes, and say you have a field over here. If the character moves to that field, it's going to go to that field. And if you go to the edge of the map, which is the outer box, then the character's position is going to update accordingly. And you can replicate this, you can add more dots as well. All you have to do is add more UIs and update their location. It's pretty modular. So let me show you how to implement this. So I'm back here in a standard third person template. Pretty much everything is default other than some stuff from my last videos that I've downloaded. So one of the things you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make your landscape or whatever your map is, and you need it to be uniformly square from the origin of the world. So the origin being 0, 0. So odds are this probably will work best with a landscape, otherwise you'd have to do some offset of some sort. But so the first thing you're going to want to do is get an actor and just put it to the very corner of your map and just see how big the boundary of your map is. So you can see here, this one for me is going to be negative 25,000 to positive 25,000. So those are the numbers I'm going to be working with, and you can scale this up depending on what numbers. You can have a big map, you just have to scale the numbers differently and adjust the location accordingly. So the very first thing we're going to want to do is create a widget. So you can just do this in a folder. You should name it properly. Okay. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create a widget. So I've just went ahead and imported two textures as well. You're going to want a texture for the icon of the player or character you want to represent, and you're also going to want to have a custom map drawn. Now, the way I did mine is all I did was go to the top of the map, take a screenshot like this, go in a 2D editor of your choice, and just do whatever art style you want and base it off that. That's how I did it. You can use any map you want. This will just be overlaid on top of the character's position. So I'm here in the widget blueprint we just created, and the first thing I'm going to want to do is go ahead and create a background blur. Okay, after we've created our background blur, we're going to want to make sure we have center aligned horizontally and center aligned vertically. And then we're going to add a canvas panel, as the background blur only holds one object. And after the canvas panel, we're going to add two images. One for the player icon and one for the map. And this is where you would add more if you had more things to display. So the first one will be our map, and this will be the map you created that you want to overlay, and the second one is going to be the player icon. And for me, this is just going to be a simple dot. So now after this, we're going to want to set the sizes here. My size is 1000 by 1000. However, You can choose what works best for you. You'll just need to adjust the numbers based off the size you choose if you choose a different one. And you're also going to want to set the player. So once you've got to this stage, you're going to want to just check your player and just see if you used a different size. Just see where the center of the screen is. So for me, the origin of the UI is going to be 500 by 500, while the origin of the world is 0 by 0. So I will have to offset whatever value I put in by 500 by 500, so it is relative to the map and the UI is accurate. So compile, save. You can set this to red if you'd like, or whatever color. I'll be doing red. So that is the UI done. And then for background blur, all I'm going to do is, you can do whatever strength you like, but if you want a high blur, just change this value depending on what you want. I like a pretty high blur. I'm going to do 90. So however, you can adjust that as you see fit. So now, after we go here, we're going to, I said my world was 25,000 by 25,000. So in my graph blueprint, I'm going to create a custom event called set map position, and we're going to grab the player icon and we will take it so I'm going to take the player icon and I will okay so I'm in my widget blueprint for the map. I'm going to create a custom event called set player position, and I will take the player icon and I will slot it as a canvas. So now I can edit this successfully. Honestly, I don't know what this does, but I know it works. I had to do some research just to figure out how it would change, as using other methods didn't change for some reason, but this definitely works. So then here, all I'm going to do is set the position of it. And here, all we're going to do is connect the position. So that's your widget blueprint map done. So all you have to do now is calculate the position. So in my third person character, all I'm going to do is create the widget just on event begin play. This will be called map. The running player will just be get player controller, however you can calculate this depending on your project. And then all I'm going to want to do is create this as a variable, and we will call this map UI. And now when I do, let's say, the M key, you'll want to use probably the built-in keybind system. However, I'll just be doing it simply through blueprint here. So on M clicked, all we're going to want to do is get a flip-flop and a bool, and then on A, we are going to want to set this to visible. So you're going to want to get it, set to visible, and on false, you're going to want to set it to false. Collapsed. Okay, so I just didn't add it to viewport, so we will add it to viewport here. And just for the testing purposes, I'm going to set this to false right away, as it's going to start open. So now this will work. If I click M, as you can see, that's how you get the UI done. Now, this map isn't representative of the map I have, obviously, but it'll still be accurate when I finish implementing it. So now that that works, we will now calculate the position. So you're going to want to get the origin, so 25,000, and this is just going to be some basic math. Okay, so for me, 25,000, I remember I need the values capped at 500. So for me, all I'm going to do is the max the player should ever be is 25,000. So I'm just going to divide it by 50. So on here, on event tick, and you can do this whenever, you can make it more optimized by only doing this if the map is open, etc. But just for the example, I'll just be doing this. So every frame I want to get the actor position. I'm going to split this, and I only need the X and the Y. And I'm going to want to divide this by 50. So after dividing by 50, I'm actually going to want to add 500 because it's going to be offset by 500 due to the UI being 0, 0 and this being 1,000, 1,000. And I'm just going to want to clamp this to 0 and 1,000 as we don't want any values higher than that, otherwise it will go off the chart. And then all I'm going to want to do here is the exact same thing for the Y. And then I'm just going to want to grab our map UI and call the function we made, which was called set player position. And for this, all I'm going to want to do is actually just split it, and then the X will be here and the Y will be here, and I'm just going to want to connect this. And now if I play, you'll see the map player icon moves accurately. So if obviously this map is very inaccurate, but let's say I had a actor here, like a town or something, or a house, and you overlaid that map with it properly, it would show up. Now all you have to do, this is a small map, all you have to do if you have a bigger map is just mess with the numbers until you have the proper offset. So if you have a bigger map, you're probably going to want to divide by a number bigger than 50 potentially, and but you just want to make sure that offset stays the same and you're always clamping the values. So that's going to be how you achieve this. I actually didn't find any resources on it myself when I was trying to do it for my own project, but it's pretty easy to implement and can be expanded upon further pretty easily as well. So yeah, that's going to be how you implement that. If you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments, but I hope this was helpful for someone.